So without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, in NotebookLM, you now have the ability to customize your audio overviews, and this is huge. I think this is going to be very powerful. They're introducing this as a feature, as well as introducing NotebookLM Business. They've dropped the experimental tag from the website, and they are offering it as a new NotebookLM Business product in the near future here that will actually be a part of the Google Workspace suite of tools. What is up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the AI Marketing Navigator. This is your daily compass in the ever-evolving world of AI marketing. Okay, Navigators, we just have a short little daily digest for you today. 3 updates to bring you from the world of AI. A new update to NotebookLM. This is the viral tool from Google that exploded all over the internet in the last month or so. And it's where you can upload documents, files, URLs, sources, and have it generate an incredibly human-like audio overview, essentially a podcast. So we will talk about the new features in NotebookLM, and then we'll touch on a new tool that I discovered called Superstudio from Kaiber. This is another tool that was included in a recent Rundown.ai newsletter, and it's an all-in-one canvas to do your AI creation and generation, a creative hub, basically, for creating AI assets and generating AI images and videos. And then we'll wrap up the episode with an update from Meta and their MovieGen team partnering with Blumhouse, a well-known Hollywood horror studio. So without further ado, let's get into it. First things first, in NotebookLM, you now have the ability to customize your audio overviews, and this is huge. I think this is going to be very powerful. They're introducing this as a feature, as well as introducing NotebookLM Business. They've dropped the experimental tag from the website, and they are offering it as a new NotebookLM Business product in the near future here that will actually be a part of the Google Workspace suite of tools. So anyway, essentially with the customization that you can now do, you can now guide these audio overviews. You can guide what the AI host talks about, what they emphasize, how they cover certain aspects of the topic, and you can even adjust the level of their expertise and the technicality with which they are talking and explaining a topic. Additionally, you can now do a background listening, as they call it, and I'll just read right from the post here on the Google blog. You can also listen to audio overviews while continuing to work within NotebookLM. Query your sources, get citations, and explore relevant quotes without interrupting the audio. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about the addition of the word business to NotebookLM. NotebookLM Business. That's the new announcement or version of the tool. And this is going to be offered, again, like I said, via Google Workspace. They mentioned in the article that this version will continue to emphasize data privacy and security, which is going to be important if they want to bring it into the Google Workspace business environment. And this is going to be a pilot program that you will have to apply for, and you can apply, I believe you can start applying as of yesterday when the article was published. And they say that in the meantime, we can all continue to use the original version of NotebookLM, the free version, and they'll be sharing more information about the availability and the pricing about NotebookLM Business. And I think Google finally realizes just how amazing of a little tool that they have here that got whipped up, and they're ready to start making some money off of it. Apparently, there are already 80,000 organizations using NotebookLM, according to the post. Anyway, so the NotebookLM saga continues to be written, and it's still surprisingly one of the most popular AI tools. It's kind of one of these funny stories, considering how small the team was at Google and the short amount of time that was put into creating it, relatively short amount of time, but it's incredibly popular within the AI community, and it's really one of the most popular tools for late adopters who are just getting into AI, maybe are getting over some AI wariness. And there really is no better tool than NotebookLM, I think, to introduce someone to the possibilities of AI. Okay, now let's move on to the second part of our episode today. This is all about a new AI tool called Kaiber, called Superstudio from Kaiber. And I'll do my best to explain it and give you a rundown. And I'll do my best to explain it and kind of give you a rundown of Superstudio, but there's a lot going on here. So definitely check out the link in the show notes to the website. Check out the tool for yourself. It's basically like an all-in-one hub where you can do your creative work with AI. It utilizes Luma for video generation and Flux for image generation, both tools that we've talked about on the show before. And you can do these generations in the same place without having to switch back and forth between tools, which is really nice. And I think we've seen a couple tools that have kind of consolidated multiple generation models into one place, which is a really cool feature. And I'm going to go ahead and hop over into the website now really quick, just so you can get a little bit better idea of what the tool does and what it looks like. One moment here. Okay, so if you're watching along on video, you should see the product page for Superstudio now. The headline here says, "A playground for accelerating imagination." And they kind of give you a step-by-step breakdown of how to use the tool. They have a bunch of little short animations and videos showing you the interface and the workflow. They say you can start by bringing in or generating new materials. So you can either upload your own assets or you can create assets using the Flux image generation model. And they kind of give you a step-by-step breakdown of how to use the tool. They say you start by bringing in or generating new materials, so uploading your existing files or assets or creating assets using the Flux image gen model. It looks like they have a user feature called flows. So you can either start with any of their core flows. These are things like templates in a way, but things like Luma Video, Flux Image, Image Lab, Image Upscale, Profile Picture. So all these different core creative tasks and functions that the tool has out of the box for you. So it looks like within a flow, there's these things called elements. And according to the website here, it says elements are building blocks for generating new materials in a flow. These are things like the subject, the aesthetic, or the stencil, according to the little video on the page. And you can get a better idea, again, of what they mean here if you're on video watching along with us, or if not, hop over to the links in the show notes when you have a chance, and you'll see what I mean by subject and aesthetic and stencil and things like that. And that will give you a bit of a visual idea on how elements and flows work with these little short animations on their web page. And here you see they're talking about being able to mix and match those elements to create your own custom flows, all of your own. And then I'm imagining you could reuse those, which would be pretty powerful. It looks like they also have some organization and curation features as well. You can create collections. It says here that once you're in a flow, select all of the generations you made and group them together. So if you are generating a ton of images, and which is tends to be the case with these models, because you can usually get 4 or 6 or however many generations you would like, and you often have to do a few generations or a few iterations, which is going to obviously result in a lot of assets. So if you can collect those together in a nice, convenient way, I think that's a cool feature as well. So if you are a marketer or your marketing department has found success using these Gen AI tools, if you've used Flux, if you use Luma with success, I think Superstudio is definitely worth a test, considering it brings the two of those Gen models together as far as video and image go, and then into one dashboard. I really like some of the creator focus features here that they have as far as being able to set an aesthetic and a stencil and things like that. They keep it simple, but it looks like you can get a lot of things done in a pretty short time in this tool. So, okay, and our last little bit of news today is coming out of Meta at ai.meta.com. Link is also in the show notes. This is the news that Meta's MovieGen team is partnering with Blumhouse and some creators at Blumhouse, a well-known Hollywood horror production company. And it's a pilot program for their MovieGen product. And I believe we talked about in their article in which they announced MovieGen that they said that they would be working with studios and creators as they develop the product before release. And so they've been doing that apparently with Blumhouse. And they selected a group of filmmakers to, quote unquote, test out the technology and provide feedback before its public debut. These filmmakers include Anish Chaganty, the Spurlock sisters, and Casey Affleck, according to the Post. And there's another link here to the MovieGen page where you can see videos from these creators and other artists. Paige Piskin, a travel photographer named Eric Rubens. And you'll also be able to see short films from Chaganty, as well as eventually Affleck and the Spurlock sisters on this MovieGen page as well. The CEO of Blumhouse, Jason Blum, was quoted saying, "Artists are and forever will be the lifeblood of our industry. Innovation in tools that can help those artists better tell their stories is something we are always keen to explore. We welcome the chance for some of them to test this cutting-edge technology and give their notes on its pros and cons while it's in development." It's good to have or see some positive sentiment from another creator in Hollywood towards AI. There was obviously a lot of tension between the creators and the producers when it came to bringing AI to Hollywood, and when it came to representing likenesses and actually actors working with AI, but the production companies, at the very least, seem to be embracing it, whether that's out of necessity or not. We have also done some episodes on James Cameron joining the board of Stable Diffusion, as well as Runway, I believe it was, partnering with Lionsgate. That was just a recent episode as well. So clearly AI is invading Hollywood, and that's not slowing down anytime soon. The article goes on to describe a little bit of how the experience went for the filmmakers. Apparently, the filmmakers told Meta that they do see potential for MovieGen as a collaboration tool, or at least a collaborator with them, particularly in its ability to inspire new ideas when it generates unexpected responses from prompts. If you've messed around with these tools, basically at all, you know that sometimes you get some wild results. They also found interest in the audio capabilities of MovieGen, apparently saying that it, quote unquote, allowed the directors to explore possibilities for background audio and generate sound effects to assist artists in their creation. The article then concludes and sums up by saying that Meta will be extending this pilot of MovieGen into 2025 with creators and most probably other Hollywood studios, I would imagine. I think basic day-to-day users are going to have to wait a little bit longer to get our hands on MovieGen, unless you happen to be in the lucky group of people who maybe get tapped for this pilot. Not sure exactly who the participants are going to be in this next 2025 phase. Again, I'm pretty sure it's, unless you're up there with James Cameron or Steven Spielberg. Fingers crossed that the AI Marketing Navigator blows up and the folks at Meta decide we should test out MovieGen. I'll try not to hold my breath. Okay, that does it for today's episode. If you enjoyed the show or found it useful in any way, please do me a favor and follow on Spotify or subscribe on your podcast platform of choice. A review on top of that would be even more appreciated. It's so super helpful to the show. So until next time, and as always, thanks for joining me, and remember to stay curious, stay consistent, and keep navigating forward. Bye.